Aloha, everyone, in another level living land. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're so happy that you're here because we are officially launching our Power of Coaching book for collaboration, volume two. It's the virtual launch. Today is the day that you want to make sure that you get your $2 copy on Amazon to support us in making us an international bestseller. And you get a chance today in this conversation that we're going to have to meet some of the authors for themselves. So therefore, you can get a nice taste and see of them. Each of them have amazing gifts in the book as well. So therefore, you can be able to not only see their story, share their message, but also hear from them. I want you to be able to hear from each of them. So who am I? I'm Dr. Heather Tucker. I am the host of the one who put this book together. And one of the reasons why we're talking about the power of coaching, because we as coaches know how transformative coaching would be. And we want the world to know that. We want coaching to be a household name. So therefore, everybody knows that regardless of what their goal is or what they want to achieve in any area of business or career or life, it is 100% possible through coaching. So go ahead and give all of our amazing, amazing guests a warm welcome, ladies. Ladies, say hello to them, coaches, authors. Hi. Okay. So first, I want you to introduce each of them to you or have them introduce themselves. So one of the things that I also wanted to let you know is that I'll put the links to the book if you haven't got it yet. I'll put the links in the chat on YouTube as well, so you have that. So the first one I want to bring up, so ladies, the question that I want you to answer, okay? Who are you and how you serve? And then the other question is, what got you into coaching? Okay. All right. So Alyssa, let's go ahead and start with you. Yay,
Thanks,
Alyssa.
Dr. Heather. I'm so glad to be here. My name is Alyssa Utek. I am a transformational coach and intuitive guide, and that allows me to help women who feel stuck, right? They may not even know where or how, but I help them let go of everything that's no longer serving them so that they can heal that stuff that's keeping them stuck and love themselves and their lives more. And I sort of fell into coaching. I have had, my own struggles for years and just walking this path of healing and growth and learning. And I realized that I had sort of amassed a toolbox and I was meant to help others. So it just sort of was my next purpose. It's my next thing that I'm meant to do. And so I'm so excited to be here and I'm so glad to be helping others through the same path.
Oh, thank you so much, Alyssa, for sharing. Yes, and yay. The thing that we wrote in the dedication for those of you who are listening was that our test is our testimony. A lot of times it's the transitions or the lessons or learning that lead us into this amazing calling of coaching. So thank you so much for sharing. All right, Valerie, what about you? Go ahead and share with us who you are and how you serve and what got you into coaching.
So I am the crone goddess. I'm Valerie and I'm based in the UK. And what I see in life when it comes to coaching is women like myself in the midlife stage, not knowing who we are. We get to that stage where we realize that there is something more. And I often say there's more to life than menopause because often it is menopause that everybody focuses on. And to me, menopause is an initiation into the next stage of our life. So, as a woman, when you're confused about what you need to do or where you want to go, be it in your personal life, your career, your professional life, then I take you that little step further and I help you to look at the crone wisdom that you've gathered over the years, the experiences, the ups and downs, the roller coaster of life, that you've got the t-shirt, you're wearing the t-shirt, and it's time to stand up and actually be who you are. So I talk about it's time for you, meaning it's time for me when you embrace the me in you and you understand exactly who you are. Now, I got into coaching because my background is in education, 30 years in education. And I went through that career transition, not knowing that, is this still for me and wanting a little bit more? And because myself being a midlife woman, I've been through menopause, hysterectomy, parental loss, divorce, all this roller coaster of chaos. And I'm still here. And I want to make sure that women know when you get a coach can help you to still be here and move forward. So that's sort of my journey, a little bit of my journey so far.
Oh, Valerie, thank you so much for sharing. As you were talking, it was like it reminded me of the best is yet to come. A lot of times we think as like we're getting older, oh my goodness, it's going down. But this is the beautiful part about the work that we're doing is like, oh my goodness, life can just get better and better. Like, what if it could just get better and better each and every day on all sides of life, not just one, but all of them. So thank you so much for being here and sharing that with us today.
You're welcome.
All right, Stephanie, let's hear from you. Tell us, our amazing audience, who you are and how you serve and what got you into coaching.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Richardson, and I'm a keynote speaker. I'm a certified world-class speaking coach and help people become more confident speakers in public speaking. And I'm a Maxwell Leadership Team certified coach and DISC consultant. And I coach a lot of entrepreneurs and CEOs who want to move from where they are to where they want to be by focusing on 6 areas of their life, not just their business goals, but their personal and life goals as well. And the reason that I do that is in my former life, I was a licensed professional counselor for 10 years. And I've learned that each of those areas are intertwined, and each one of them positively or negatively affects the other. And so if you're crushing it at work, but you're ignoring your health and fitness or your relationships, it's going to come back to bite you at some point. So I really try to focus on all of those areas when I'm working with clients. And how I got into coaching was I was actually at a women's event, and there was a woman there who coaches women coaches. And she came up to me and she said, Stephanie, why do you not have your own coaching business? She said, you have been a therapist, you know how to grow people and develop them and ask difficult questions. And why have you not pursued this? And I said, I don't know. I never really thought about it. She was the nudge that started me thinking that I needed to pursue coaching as a business.
Oh my goodness. So amazing, Stephanie. Thank you so much for sharing. Like the message that was coming is that you're being proof of what's possible, right? Like you can be able to transition from a totally different thing to a new thing and really be able to embrace it and be of service. So thank you so much for your service to the world. All right, let's hear from Joanne. Joanne, go ahead and share with us. Hi, share with us who you are, how you serve, and what got you into coaching.
Absolutely, I'd love to. So I'm Joanne Balankis. I'm a certified executive and leadership coach. And how I serve is that I was an executive in the corporate world for more than 2 decades. And especially early on in my career, many times I was the only female in the room. And even as I kind of went up the ladder, every time I was asked to do a project or an additional task, even if my plate was overloaded, I never felt confident enough to say no. I didn't want to look like I was incompetent or I wasn't a team player. So I would always take on more and more and more until it really affected me and my life in many different ways. And eventually it really took a knock on my self-confidence. I started to overthink about things, second guess myself. And it took me years to really learn that in order to be a good, great leader, to be able to lead people and want them to follow me, is I had to build a strong inner foundation of confidence in myself and not worry about what others were thinking about me, but build it in myself. And that's what I do now. I'm no longer in the corporate world. And while I work with all kinds of leaders, I really focus on working with women in leadership, because believe it or not, more than 75% of women in leadership at some point in their careers do second guess themselves, and they overthink, and they feel like they need to be perfect all the time. So this is what we work on together. And I just love it. I find it so just invigorating for myself as well as my clients.
Oh my goodness, Joanne, thank you so much for sharing your message and each of the messages that you are hearing to the audience. There's more details in the book. That's why you want to get the book and be able to read their chapters. Joanne's chapter is talking about guiding leaders, right? And each of us are leaders in our own unique way. Like, even if we don't want to be a leader, if you're a mom, if you're a dad, or if you're always leading someone, you're the example. And the beautiful thing is, coaching can help you break into that bigger and better version of yourself so you can lead with much more ease, grace, and flow. So Joanne, thank you so much for sharing your message today. All right, Susie, empowered from the heart. Susie, so happy that you're here with us today.
Thank you. I'm just so blessed to be here. My name is Susie Procini. I'm a women's empowerment coach. I help women who are stuck in places in their lives and they don't know how to move forward. I became a coach because I needed coaching at one point in my life. Just because of my childhood, I became a people pleaser. I carried that into my marriage. And when my youngest child went off to school, I thought, well, what am I going to do now? There was nobody else to take care of or please. And I felt this divine guidance that said, there is something out there for you. And that began my journey into discovering who I was, how to do things differently than maybe our families of origin have always done, because that's who we learn from. Those are our first teachers. No judgment, no right, wrong, no judgment, but that's how we learn patterns in our lives. And that can keep us from growing. So I became a coach. I was a health and wellness coach in the beginning, but I enjoyed working with women who kind of opened up like a rosebud. They petal by petal, they just found out who they were. They took back their innate power to be able to put up boundaries, say no without feeling guilty. And this has been my purpose and my passion for the past 15 years. And I have grown by working with the clients that I have. They teach me as I teach them. I can see what they can't see in themselves. And I hold their hands and fast track them quicker than I did, because I have a little bit more experience in that way, but get them to the place where they're able to do the things that they want to do without having anyone's permission. Because we have this place in our heart that is always giving us divine guidance. And if we can tap into that place, the heart, it's another brain that we have, head brain, heart brain, gut brain, but heart brain will never steer us wrong. So I'm here to help women find that place of empowerment and to create the life they love.
So good, Susie. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, because it really is our aloha. It's from our heart, from which everything, all the amazingness flows. And a lot of times it can feel like, the heart is constricted or confined, but you talk about expanding your heart, being able to be empowered from your heart and leading with your heart. And when you operate with your wisdom, every step that you take is right. So we're so happy that you're here. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for your message to the world. Okay, everyone, I'll introduce myself real quick, and then we'll go into the next set of questions that I have for you. We're going to go a little bit deeper talking about the benefits and the downsides of coaching, because we want to bring that to the awareness as well. So who am I? I'm Dr. Heather Tucker, and I work with entrepreneurs who want to achieve success in business and life harmony, because it really is two sides of the same coin. We never want to get so busy making a living that we forget to make a life. And it is possible to work smarter, not harder, to stress less, to strengthen our relationships, to lead with much more energy, ease, and momentum, and actually open up our capacity to exponentially receive our divine inheritance as an entrepreneur. I believe in freedom for all. And I definitely believe that entrepreneurship is the way and the avenue when you step into whatever that uniqueness is and you own it 100%, then everything just, the path just unfolds. So I have a professional training and coaching company because I love coaching so much, not just because of this book. I also teach and certify coaches. So any of you who are listening out there who wants to become a coach or level up as a coach with life harmony, emotional intelligence, understanding about the mind, then definitely connect and read all about the book, and you'll fall in love with this passion of coaching just like we have. Just like we have. What led me to this, though, actually, is my background is in IT. I used to be an intelligent technologies researcher for the Army. It was like, got my PhD at 27, dream job at 28. And you know, when you reach that epitome of your career where externally, everyone's like, oh my goodness, Dr. Heather's so successful. But internally, Dr. Heather was like super miserable. And I'm like, what is going on? And then I'm looking out into my community, and I see all the heaviness and all the sadness. And I'm like, there has to be another way to be able to do this. So I left the government. I went into higher education because I've always had a passion for teaching and being able to share wisdom. And it was interesting because as I was leaving there, I remember my mom said, both my parents, who are also PhDs, they're like, Heather, you only had 20 more years. Like, what the heck are you doing? I was like, I'm going to be dead in like 1 or 2 if I stay here. Right. And my mom was like, what do you want to do? I said, Mom, I just want to help people. Then I discovered coaching. When I took my first class, I was like, where has this been all of my life? Why do they not teach this in like elementary school and middle school? Because the best form of communication and connection with someone is really having those coaching skills. Is so essential for increasing communication. We're hoping that for you who are listening to this, that you resonated with even some of the pieces of the stories that these ladies have shared today. Because the beautiful thing is, if they've gone through it and they can have overcome and stepped into their empowerment, it's possible for you too. And the beautiful thing is, big picture, coaching saves lives. It saves lives, relationships, restoration, prosperity, and we're all called for that. So now there's no excuses now that you got this $2 transformation to be able to take action and step into your bigger and better version of yourself. Yay, ladies, yay. Okay, next question that I want to be able to hear from each of you, and we'll go round robin again. What are the of coaching from your perspective, big picture? And what are even the downsides from your perspective that you can think about? And Alyssa, we'll start with you.
There are so many benefits, as you guys know. What I love about it is being able to inspire others and educate. At the same time, we can lift each other up, right? We are all here to help each other with things that we've already gone through, help each other find the true self and that self-love, which allows us to expand it out and love everything and everyone around us more. That's my favorite part. I just love working with a client. And I think Susie mentioned it. It's like the petal, it's like the bud that opens up. It just more and more greatness every single session, every single day, every single time when they come to you and say, oh my gosh, this has completely changed and it's a miracle. And I don't even know how, and what did you do? And all those things. You're just so happy for them. And on the flip side, there are some challenges, I think, for a lot of coaches where tend to be highly sensitive people, right? We can really empathize with people, and sometimes we can take it on, if we don't have our good boundaries set up. Sometimes we want to overgive and overcare because we are in this because we care about people and we care about their pain and we care about their joy and we want to help them have better lives, but we can overgive, overwork ourselves. And so it's really important that we use our own tools or get other coaches who can help us, right? So that we can keep our boundaries and keep our self-care and our self in line so that we can help others without taking on any of their stuff.
Oh, thank you so much, Alyssa. I really appreciate you sharing. Yes, it's finding that harmony of of giving and receiving. You know, the beautiful thing is coaching is like a win-win for everyone. And yes, it can be sometimes where it's like, oh my goodness, you can be depleted, and it's about practicing what you teach. This is why the beautiful part about coaching, every single coach, as they're doing the work and they step into their authenticity, you see that. You see that they're example and proof of what's possible and what they're facilitating youth through. So I appreciate you sharing. Thank you. Valerie, what about you? What are the benefits from coaching from your perspective, and also even the downsides from coaching from even the client or from coach's perspective, from your perspective?
Well, like Alyssa said, the benefits are wide. I believe one of the things with coaching is you're coming into an environment where there's no judgment. There's an opportunity for you to actually get something off your chest that you've probably held in a long, long time. And you get this opportunity to talk to somebody who's not going to judge you, but hold a space for you to actually talk, for you to actually breathe, and for you to release everything that you need to release. It's also an opportunity where you take it at a pace that is suitable for you as the individual. Because that's one of the things about coaching. It is an individual thing. You work together one-to-one. And as a coach, it's about me ensuring that you are comfortable working and getting something and moving on further. You know, this is an opportunity to move a lot further on than you might have done by yourself. Because often enough, we believe we can do things, and, you know, we stop ourselves by doing things by saying, I've got to do it by myself. It's down to me. I've got to be strong. I've got to do it all. I don't need any help. But every one of us needs help. As coaches, we have coaches ourselves. That is one of the best things about coaching. We have coaching ourselves because we need support ourselves. We cannot take on everything. And one of the things I find about coaching, you cannot coach everybody. You might think you can and you want to, but in reality, you cannot coach everybody. Yeah. So somebody's got to be coachable to come to you. And we have our own field, our own areas that we address, and we feel comfortable ourselves. And a lot of us are coming directly from our own experience, our lived experience. So when we're offering our coaching, it's coming from us. It's coming from our heart. You know, we've seen something. But one of the key things is we see something in you. We see something in you, and we help you to bring that out. So therefore, you can be the best person you can be. And the key thing about it is you are an individual. You are the one person, and nobody can tell you any different. So coaching is about bringing that out in you. Downside, there are downsides because we might think we can take on more, and we give a lot. So that's where we have to hold ourselves back. Downside for the client, the downside is you find out who you really are. Is that a downside?
That's perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that amazing message, Valerie. Oh, so appreciate it. It's so inspiring. Right? The one part that I just want to highlight real quick is that part about the individual. You're unique. You know, a lot of times we think that we have to be like everybody's the same. But the reality is there is no one exactly the same. This is also the beauty of coaching, because we can come together, we can collaborate, because each coach is unique. Just like each coach is unique, you are also unique. So don't try to fit yourself in the box, right? Why try to fit in when you were born to stand out? So good. Thank you for sharing. Okay, Stephanie, for you, what are the benefits of coaching from your perspective, and any downsides from your perspective?
I think coaching helps people achieve things that they wouldn't normally achieve on their own, because you have this increased awareness and insight into yourself that a lot of people don't take time to really explore on their own. And a coach asking you the right questions, those guided questions to really help you look inside yourself and know yourself better, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, and really be able to develop yourself. That's worth so much, I think, because we don't take time on our own to do that. We're too busy checking the box and doing all the tasks for the day. And this makes a person slow down and work on themselves. And I think that stretching people outside of their comfort zone is a big part of coaching. I always tell my clients, my role as a coach is to hold them kicking and screaming outside of their comfort zone until the thing that was so scary to them, the task that was so frightening, doesn't seem frightening anymore. And it's just part of what they do. And then there'll be a new task, a new challenge for us to undertake. And I love watching people gain confidence in themselves as they take on these new tasks and challenges in their business or in their life. I've seen relationships strengthened in marriages, with their children, outside of just business goals that people have met. And I think just in my background as a previous therapist, a lot of people could probably pursue coaching versus therapy. Maybe they've been in therapy for years and years and years, and they're looking at the past and who they became because of their family of origin and how they were raised and how that affects them now. But coaching really looks at the future and who that person wants to be and where they're going. And the benefit of coaching is that you have someone that can guide you and direct you there. So the way I explain it is, if you're in a car, you look at the rear view mirror and you look at the windshield, and one of them is smaller than the other. And one of them looks in the past and one of them looks in the future of where you're going. And that's what we're going to focus on, is where we're going and who you want to become in the process of coaching. And that's what coaching can do. As far as downsides, I think for the coachee, you have to be willing to do the work. Whatever goals that you say you want to accomplish, and you have that accountability partner as your coach, and you have to be willing to follow through. And if you, week after week, session after session, you're not making progress, then I think you have to look at, okay, do I really want to be held accountable? Am I really coachable? So that's the only downside that I see, is that you really have to be coachable and you have to be willing to do the work so that it is a good investment in yourself. And you get that return on investment because you're putting in the work to get to whoever it is you want to become.
So good, Stephanie. Wow, I love that analogy too of the car. Like, it just puts everything in the perfect frames of what coaching is and what's possible. And of the fact that the windshield is like so much bigger than that little mirror. And a lot of times we're so focused on that little mirror that we can't even see how amazing that things are if we just look out and increase that awareness. So I really appreciate you sharing. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Okay, Joanne, let's hear from you. What are the benefits of coaching from your perspective? And what are any downsides from your perspective?
So as we've already heard, the benefits are many. I mean, we could each of us go on and on for days about it. I think that, when we are in the midst of life, of living life, whether it's our work life, our daily life, so many times we cannot see the forest for the trees. And the other thing is that, as both Stephanie and Valerie said, is that, you can't do this alone. And so when you have a coach, I look at myself as a thinking partner, as a support, as a cheerleader, as an outreached hand when you're in the quicksand, pulling you out and getting you back on solid ground. I'm that shoulder that you can stand on to get you over the wall. That's how I see coaching. It's not telling somebody what to do or what I would do or what they should do. but it's letting them see for themselves by my curiosity and my questions that I ask that lets them kind of see themselves for who they really are. Because again, sometimes you need a mirror up to yourself. If I can say something, I named my company Sidecar Coaching because in a nutshell, the way that I see coaching is that my client is in the driver's seat. They are driving and I'm in that little sidecar right along beside them. I'm there for the journey. I'm there for the road. I can help them navigate because I've been there before, but we're going to reach their end destination together. And that's how I see coaching. Coaching is nothing but a support, a hand to hold, an ear to listen without judgment and without giving advice, and just being there for our clients. I love it. If you can't tell, I'm just very passionate about it. And again, to kind of, echo Stephanie, I believe that the downside of coaching on the coachee's side is that, many times there are things about ourselves that we don't want to face. We think we might want to, but maybe we're not ready for one reason or another. So if you're not ready or open, if you're going to say, well, I've already tried that, or I already do that, then coaching won't benefit you. So I don't know that it's a downside necessarily. I think when you go into coaching, you just have to realize that it is going to be a transformational experience and just be ready for it, because it's a ride. But how exciting is a roller coaster? It's a ride. It's exciting. And where you end up at the end is exactly where you were meant to be.
Oh my goodness, Joanne, thank you so much for sharing. And I love your analogy about even the sidecar coaching, because that's exactly what it is. So I want to kind of make one thing clear and then we'll go to Susie. What they highlighted is who is the expert of the client's life? They are. Right? We're just here to be able to help you bring out the greatness and the amazingness that is already there. It's not about giving advice and telling you what to do, because how many of you have ever given advice and do people ever follow it? No, we help you tap into your answers, your wisdom. And those are the steps that you're definitely going to take. And we do it with a beautiful aloha and ease, grace, and flow. So thank you so much for sharing that, Joanne. Okay, Susie, let's hear from you. What are the benefits of coaching and the downsides of coaching from your perspective?
Well, we don't have enough time to go through the benefits of coaching.
That's right. That's right. Big picture.
And concise. It is a safe place for clients to come and be themselves. And that means no perfection. There is no such thing as perfection. And if there's something I want to shout from the rooftops to the women of this world, is we're trying very hard to be perfect, and there is no such thing. Let that go. We're works in progress. The other thing I want to talk about is with my clients, I always give them action steps to take at the end of a session. And my work, we chunk that down into the smallest baby step possible. So then your brain doesn't go into fight or flight. So if you make it so easy, done consistently over time, your brain doesn't know you're changing. And so there's no fear about taking these steps. Is it a straight line up? No, it's a cylinder. It goes around and around. It's not just you're going this way. You're going to have maybe a step back, and then you're going to start again. You always can return to the work. I wrote some things down. I'm always telling my clients we're here to do things differently, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and getting the same result. So something has to be done differently. I learned a different way to communicate with my husband. 43 years I've been married, and now I understand how his brain works and what I have to do to respond to it differently. It has changed everything. It is so rich and so full and so loving that it's miraculous. So all that to say that all these little baby steps bring you huge transformation when they're all put together. The downsides, of coaching for me is I can't want it more than that person does for them. They have to be at that place where they're ready to commit, right? I can see it. I know it's in there. I'm trying to pull it out. It's an inside job. Everything you do in transformational work is done on the inside. Then it translates into the outside. But it's the inside, what's going on with you, where are your coping mechanisms that you're stuck in. It's unpacking things that we've listened to other people tell us about who we are and getting rid of that. So there is, like, you go to a hotel room, you have your luggage, you're unpacking all your stuff. That's exactly what you do, is you unpack the things that are not working for you. And then you get to refold everything and put it in. And it's so orderly and so nice and so easy. So
We're
that,
clear.
yes.
Thank you so much for sharing, Susie. Wow. Okay. So you've heard it, and I'm going to share with you real quick mine too. What are the benefits of coaching from my perspective? True empowerment, authenticity, transparency, the ability to be able to show up and shine and know that it's safe to be you and it's safe for other people to be them. The ability to be able to really have that total clarity and confidence and excitement about what's possible and what you're called to do, even if it's and really not just to do, but to be, even if it doesn't look like how someone should think that you should be. Does that make sense? So it's really like true empowerment, stepping into this most amazing level of you in whatever area. Even if you're just focusing on one area, it will shift and positively change every other area. And the quote that I put at the beginning of my chapter was, "The cave that you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek," by Robert Campbell. What's interesting about that is a lot of times there can be this fear, like, oh my goodness, I don't know, fear of the unknown. But there lies the beauty of having a coach by your side supporting you on the journey. Like literally, you could climb the mountains and you got your number one cheerleader right there saying, oh my goodness, so good, good, good. Like, okay, the only downside that I see is that the only downside that I see from a coaching is that other people in your world may be like trying to figure out like, who the heck are you? And so like really being able to allow that little bit of transition for them to really be able to see the amazingness that you are, and then them seeing the old picture of who you used to be. That's the only thing I see. And here's the thing. A lot of times there's a fear of even taking a step because, oh my goodness, what will people think? How will this shift my relationship? How will this shift like how people see me? Well, here's the thing. The beautiful part is when you let your full light shine unapologetically with unconditional love and appreciation, more love and appreciation is going to come from the people that you don't even know. There are people that you're probably called to touch in your world that you haven't even met yet. And so if we stay in that fear, we stay outside of the cave, then we're like straddling the fence and it can only cause more pain. So you go in the cave, you open up the treasure, you unlock it. And I feel like when I open up the treasure box, then the whole place is light. I don't know. That was the picture that I got. Okay, great. Okay, so last question for everyone. So if you haven't got your book, I'm going to make sure that I put it in the chat. Let me do that now so that you have your access to that. For all of the coaches, I want you, the last question I'm going to ask you today is, hold on a second. Let me make sure they know if they haven't got their book yet. Go ahead and get their books. I'm putting that in the comments now. And, well, we'll get it there. Okay, so the question is, what is the biggest takeaway that you want to leave everyone with? And also, what is the free gift that you had to offer the audience, those who got the book? I'll go ahead and start with Alyssa while I put this in the chat.
Thanks, Dr. Heather. I'm going to piggyback a little on what these amazing women are saying. My biggest takeaway for anyone listening is you do not have to do this alone. Wherever you feel stuck, wherever you feel desperate or powerless or helpless, or just like you've hit bottom and you don't know what to do and you don't know where to go, you are not alone. There's amazing coaches out there. I mean, just look at this room here, but there are so many who will be there for you, and everything that you want is possible. And so I would love to have, if you are thinking, oh my gosh, I don't even know what I need. I know that I don't want more of the same, but where do I go? Feel free to come to my website, www.alissautek.com, and sign up for a complimentary clarity call. I guarantee you, you will be more clear at the end of our conversation about where you are stuck and what we could do to get you through to have more of what you want. So,
Yay.
Thanks,
Thank you so much, Alyssa, for sharing that and your beautiful free gift. Yay. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Valerie, let's hear from you. Biggest takeaway that you want to leave our audience with today, and also what are your free gifts that you are also offering?
So I would like to say that for the midlife woman, this is the next step in your chapter, and you can get to where you want to get to and be who you want to be with coaching. It's a catalyst for transformation. Think about that butterfly coming out of the cocoon. This is you coming out and spreading your wings and actually being who you want to be now. Not the label that was put on you years ago, or who you think you were meant to be, but who you want to be going forward. And that's what I would say about coaching. Now, I'm like Alyssa, I've got an offer where you can actually come and have a chat and discover your inner crone goddess, that powerful, wise woman that you are. And you can find me at transformationinaction.co.uk. And I'll see you there. Let's have a chat. It's just a conversation.
Thank you so much, Valerie. Yay. Oh, we really appreciate you. Okay, let's hear from Stephanie. Stephanie, go ahead and share with us your biggest takeaway that you want to leave us with, and also what is your free gift?
So, what I want to leave you with is that you can endure the life that you have right now, or you can create the life that you want and be the person you want to be through coaching, and that you can be transformed into that person you want to be when you take that first step and say, I want to be this future version of myself and create my life on purpose. My free gift is I do a free video newsletter every week. Comes out every Thursday, and it's nothing but a video. There are no words, and it's just something motivational, inspirational to make you think for the week, to really help you have insight and awareness, be motivated, inspired. And it's usually only 1 minute to 2 minutes long, so you're not watching a long video. So you can go to my website, Stephanie Richardson, UYP. That's Unlock Your Potential is the name of my business. So that's why it's UYP. Stephanie Richardson, UYP.com.
Oh, thank you so much, Stephanie, for sharing. Yes, and yay. So many amazing gifts that keep on giving. So make sure that you take action, get your copy of the book today, go to read their chapters, get to know them even more, and then also get access to their free gifts. So thank you. Thank you for sharing, Stephanie. All right, Joanne, what about you?
So what I would love everybody to take away today is that you are not broken. Okay, that when we see our clients, sometimes they come to us and they may feel that they are, but you're not. Everything that you need is already inside you. And with a coach, we can help you see that. We can help you find that again. So that's what I'd like you all to remember. And as far as my free gift, I have a guide. It's 5 Keys to Thriving in Your Leadership Role. And it helps you build confidence, drive results, and lead with purpose.
Yay. Oh, love it. Thank you so much, Joanne, for sharing that beautiful gift with us. All right, Susie, let's hear from you. Biggest takeaway, and also what is your free gift?
Here's what I want the people that are listening to us to take away from this webinar is that you can only change yourself. You cannot change anyone around you. But the beauty of that is that when you change yourself, everyone around you has to adjust differently because you're functioning differently. So if you change, everyone else around you changes and ups their vibrational level. And it's a beautiful thing to see. My free gift is a complimentary clarity call with me. It's a conversation on the phone or on Zoom for 45 minutes. It's a $125 value that I'm gifting to anyone who picks up from my information. It's empoweredfromtheheart.com. It's a conversation, like we were saying. We'll talk about what's not working and what you see your vision going forward would be for you. And then we'll talk about ways that we can get you there.
So good, Susie. Thank you so much for sharing. And then I'll conclude us with my biggest takeaway to be able to leave the audience. You don't have to have a great past to have a great future. You can recreate and restore yourself each and every day. It doesn't matter who you are, where you've been, what you've done. If there's a place of where you are and where you want to be, coaching will support you in doing that, hands down, guaranteed. There's all different types of coaching, all different types of niches, all different types of price points and genres. You know, we're bringing this awareness because a lot of times we think that we have to stay stuck in a situation or feeling some kind of way intrinsically. It doesn't have to be like that. What is on the other side is your freedom, like total freedom, right? And that's what's possible with coaching. And I promise those who are joining us today that I'm going to give you an even different gift that's in the book. So in the book, I include a freedom call, complimentary freedom call with me. I can be able to identify that unconscious success block. And a lot of times I can guarantee you it's not what you think it is. And also I shared, what else did I give? Oh, 7 secrets towards more biz life harmony as well. But the one I'm giving today, and I just dropped it in the chat, is if you go to anotherlevelliving.com/free trainings, there are 2 masterclasses that are pre-recorded just for you. The first one is the power of emotional intelligence and what it can do for you and your world. And then the second one is, have you ever thought about becoming a life coach? Take a look at that and be able to see if that's something that will work with you. And then it'll lead you to a conversation. And that's pretty much it. Oh my goodness, ladies, what an amazing launch, an amazing day on 8/8/24. Give yourselves and everyone a round of applause. We did it. Yay. These ladies have been working so hard to be able to bring you this message and this wisdom. And we would love to be able to hear from you too. Read their chapters. Go ahead and give us amazing reviews. Go ahead to thepowerofcoachingbook.com. So therefore you'll see all of their information, their bio, their free gifts, and you can be able to connect with them on social media. Let this be just the beginning of something beautiful for not only yourself, but also your entire world, your family, your community. Everyone will shift. And I'll say it with, Susie had mentioned this before. I'll leave you with a short story. There was a man who went off and wanted to change the world, and he got frustrated because the world was not changing. Then he was like, let me go ahead and try to change my community. And he got frustrated because the community wasn't changing. And then he was like, well, let me just try to change my family. And then he got frustrated because his family wasn't changing. And it wasn't until he was on his deathbed that he realized, man, if I had just changed, every single thing would have changed around me. And this was the power of coaching. That's why we want to make this transformation now. So therefore, everything in your world will be like open doors, open opportunities. When you see and have more awareness of what's possible and you step into it, you'll be so glad that you did. You'll be so glad that you did. All right, everyone. We look forward to hearing back from you. Get your copy today. And thanks so much for joining us. Join us again at 3 p.m. to meet the rest of the authors, and have an amazing rest of the day. Bye, everyone.